So this past few days with this whole situation, with the young lady missing last week, and watching social media and folks, work through the whole process of is she, or is she not, hoping that she came back home. It was an interesting journey, and it had me to reflecting on my decisions now, things I do and don't do, like out in public, and as I'm maneuvering through life. Like there was a time where I used to always pick people up and give them a ride home. I've picked folks up like on the side of the interstate, somebody's car broke down, whether they flag you down or not. Like if a guy flags me down, several times I pulled over and picked somebody up. I've on several occasions would see a woman on the side of the road, pull over. Hey sis, you all right? Oh yeah, I'm good. Oh, my boyfriend's coming, or my husband's coming, or my father's coming. I remember one time a few years ago, just a few short years ago, maybe 3 years ago, there was a young lady who I pulled on the side of the road, and her dad was on the way, but I stayed with her. And I said, call your dad, tell him I'm here, tell him what kind of car I'm in, tell him my license plate, and let him know I'm gonna stay here until he gets here. And he was like, man, I appreciate that. I was like, yeah, man, I got daughters too traveling this road, last year, not even last year, young lady had a flat tire. Okay. She didn't even know her tire was flat. I said, hey sis, your tire is flat. And she was like, yeah, I was trying to do something. I thought it had air. And I said, yeah, well, it doesn't. And she was like, she was like driving on the rim. She was like, I think I can get home. I said, not like that. I said, in a minute, you're going to be riding on sparks. I can tell you that right now. And then so I told her, I said, I'll give you a ride home. I said, where do you live? She told me she lived right around the corner from here. I said, here. I said, before you get in the car with me, I said, I want you to call my wife. I'm going to give you my wife's phone number in your phone. Call my wife. When she answers the phone, you tell her that her husband told you to call her, and you describe, let her know that you're riding home with me. That's to protect both of us. That's two reasons. Number one, so I ain't just riding around with some random young woman in my car. And two, that's to help her hopefully feel more comfortable, because she had her children with her, that this stranger is giving her a ride home. But again, that used to be a regular occurrence. I can't tell you all the times I've given somebody a jump, or I've helped somebody change a tire, or that I picked somebody up and given them a ride somewhere, particularly traveling as a comedian on the road. So when I heard about that sister being missing on I-459, I done drove that road, that stretch of interstate on several occasions. That's Birmingham. Okay, that's the back in the day, that's the Stardome Comedy Club. That's the road to the Stardome. You got to take I-20 through Atlanta, straight through to Birmingham, and you're going to pick up I-459, take that south, and you're going to take that down to the Hoover exit, and you're going to get off there. The hotel's right there, and the comedy club is about, like 3-4 miles down the road. So I know that stretch of highway very well. And so when I'm hearing that she's lost, my heart goes out. 25 years old. I got 2 daughters. I have 3 sons. But particularly when you got 2 daughters out, you think about those type things. So then when you find out that maybe it's not true, I'm like, okay. Immediately my question becomes, why would somebody do that? If that is the case, okay? That's the first thing. Now, I've already seen some of the tweets and some of the posts, and I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about this today. Not because, we don't do drama or tea, but this is a situation that's come up now that bears a question. Number one, how are we maneuvering today in the world? How do we operate today in the world? Have we changed the way we operate? I do, because I had to think about today. As I was thinking about that situation, I thought about this. What if I saw a random baby on the side of the road? Okay, they said that didn't happen, but that is a way that people get folks. Understand? With all this sex trafficking today, that is compounded interest and multiplied today. That is one of the ways that people, particularly when they're trying to get women, young women, They do stuff like that. Have a random baby out someplace and a person sees it, particularly a woman sees it and is triggered and pauses or stops to help. But when you hear about stuff like this, or if you did see a legitimate baby on the side of the road, has culture, society, mess, people, sin, fallen man, have they caused us to think to operate differently? So I had to think, if I just saw a random baby in a parking lot, would I immediately stop? Would I stop with a bit of trepidation? Would I stop and be like, oh, would I be concerned? Would I be worried? Would I be upset? We live in interesting times, y'all. Then so that's one side of it. Then the other side is this: if she's lying, if she's in fact not telling the truth, one, why would she do that? Two, what are the long-term implications for other women who report something like that? Who maybe something happens and you don't remember all the details. Maybe your memory is a little bit sketchy. Maybe you're something that you did doesn't properly line up. What about black women who already sometimes in some cases are not believed, whether that's for medical circumstances or legal situations? Like when folks do stuff, if what she did is true, if she wasn't honest about it, people got to realize, man, they're much longer, much more extensive implications past just you. And then here's the other side of that we got to talk about today. Like, how do you move safely as a woman, even as a man? I go places and I have to be honest. I don't carry a gun, but I'm not fearful at all. I'm probably in some places that somebody would say, why are you there? Or my wife, who is very, 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 can be, I call you this a scary sometimes. I'll be someplace. She's like, don't go in there. Don't get out the car. Why did you pull over? What part of town are you in? Be careful. I'm like, I'm good. If somebody do something, I can handle it. But I believe I'm good. I'm covered in the blood of Jesus. So and if God tells me not to do something, I fall back. But have you changed the way you operate today? Would you stop and pause if you saw a small child seemingly lost in the middle of a parking lot? Would you pull over on the side of the road if you saw a small child on the interstate, on the highway, up against some trees, up against some woods? Would you stop and help a child in a neighborhood? Here's what's crazy. I literally used to be a lost baby. I literally was a lost baby. My mama said when I was about somewhere between 1 and 2 years old, she was upstairs sleeping. We was living in Yamacraw Village at the time. She was upstairs sleeping in the house. I crawled out of the bed and walked outside, got out the house and went down and was walking through the neighborhood. And somebody picked me up and brought me back. Somebody picked me up and brought me back. If that happened today, would you say, like, whose child is that? Is that somebody trying to trick me? Is that somebody trying to set me up? That's that little baby with a she said I had a diaper on and a t-shirt. That's all I had. A diaper and a t-shirt. We live in interesting times. Stuff has changed. My God. Listen, let's have this conversation. With this young lady, is she telling the truth? And if she's not telling the truth, why would she do that? What's the reason for doing something like that? Okay? And then, how do you operate? Let's talk about that today. Let's see who's in the room. Glade. Glied? I'm messing this sister's name up.
Stop it.
Somebody drop. So tell me if I'm saying that right or how bad am I butchering it. Tashia, good morning. Trudy, good morning. Robin, good morning. Brittany, good morning. Shonda, good morning. Fo Lake, what's up, sis? How you doing? Good morning. Florence, good morning. Kimberly Morgan, what's up, my sister? How you doing? Andrea, good morning. Marilyn, good morning.
30 hertz straight up.
Gwendolyn, Good morning. Gerald. What's up, Gerald? Good morning. That's the two youngest Gwendolyn's and Geralds I've seen in a long time. Gerald's an old grown man name, and Gwendolyn is a grandma name. That's a young Gwendolyn and a young Gerald. I'm sorry. Okay.
Velvet teddy bear.
Mother Earls, how you doing? Mom Earls is in the building. What's going on, ma'am? Celeste is in the building. How you doing, sis? Sherelle, what's going on, Sherelle? Cassandra, good morning. Apostle Bradley, good morning. Tanisha, good morning. Cece, good morning. Jamal Bates, Pastor Bates is in the building. What's up, sir? Han, good morning. Did I say that right? Hansi, good morning. Let me see here. Let me go back up here. Tarsha, good morning. Mr. O, say good morning. Shaquila, what's up, sis? How you doing? Angela, good morning. Sister Karen, good morning. Paul Briggs, what's up, bro? Thank you for holding it down last week on the show. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that, sir. Tori Free is in the building. What's up, my sister? How you doing? Jermaine, good morning. What's up, brother? Annette, good to see you, ma'am. Takesha Waller, that's Doug's wife. What's up, Takesha? And Pastor Stephanie Tucker's in the building. How you doing, ma'am? Woman of God, 20 years in ministry. Y'all doing it. Hey, family, listen. We're going to talk about today. Is this sister lying? Is she telling the truth? If she's not, what does it mean for the broader culture, for people, for you? And have you changed the way you operate today just with all this sex trafficking and kidnapping and criminal? And it's so much mess going on today. You got people trying to scam you, calling you all day, sending you tricky emails, trying to get into your phone, taking your bank accounts, trying to get your debit card, your credit card. Lord, help me, Jesus. Listen, call your mama, call your daddy, call your auntie, call your cousin, call your uncle, call your friend, call the postman, the UPS man, tell the UPS man don't go on strike. Listen, y'all, it's time to get this thing started. Y'all, it is the Akintunde Show. Let's go.
Another track layer production, but no joke entertainment. Let's go.
Akintunde is gonna make you laugh real loud. So
Get your
come
laugh on.
on, scream it out. Akintunde is
Say what?
gonna make you
Make it laugh.
real loud now. Akintunde.
Daily I shall.
It's the Akintunde Show.
Say what? Say what?
You heard what I said.
That's right, y'all.
The Akintunde Show.
Spell it.
A-K-I-N Tunde.
Looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products. Caps, travel mugs, drawstring bags, water bottles, stadium cups, umbrellas, tote bags, and t-shirts. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising company. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. pbpromotionals.com.
Imprinting the best for less.
Hello, I'm Dr. Aaron Bishop, and this is my new book, For Such a Time as This, The Urgency of Now. In today's society, we need transformational leaders like never before. Transformational leaders are those who maximize the impact while creating positive change. If you're ready to create positive change and maximize your impact, please go get my book today at bishopspeaks.com. That's right, bishopspeaks.com, and order your copy today for such a time as this.
At my church, we help people get better by teaching them how the word works. And we want to make sure there is no excuse not to get the word. It's our goal to make all of our ministries accessible on every smartphone, tablet, PC, and television connected to the internet. So whether you're a man who needs some wisdom, a woman who needs some encouragement, or a couple who needs guidance, the My Church channel has just what you need. Simply search for the My Church channel on Roku, Fire Stick, or Apple TV, or visit mychurchchannel.org. You can also download the My Church on the Go app from Apple or Google Play App Store. Constantly on the move? Check out the Word at My Church podcast on your favorite podcast platform. Or simply download the Word at My Church skill on your Alexa-enabled device. But whatever you do, make sure to stay connected. See you soon.
What it do? What it do?
Stop walking in front of the prophet.
One more time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Thursday, everybody. We're back. We're back in the building. Excuse us as we reintroduce ourselves. We were off on Tuesday. Not off. We were actually doing a full 2-day workshop. Me, Pastor Tuck, Jaleel, and Kelby McNabb. Huge success. Very first time we'd ever done it. Blown our minds. It blew my mind to see everybody just show up and pull so much great information out. That workshop is going to be up, and you'll be able to repurchase it later on. But this is a blessing, y'all. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Just got back in from the Stellar Awards. Was in Vegas on the big stage this past weekend. Shout out to Central City Productions and Gospel Music's biggest night. You guys can see me on the show. I was co-hosting the red carpet. And as well as I gave out an award. I presented an award. I won't tell you who won, but I got a chance to present an award with some good folks on stage at the Stellar Awards. So y'all see more about that. I'll tell you more about that as we get closer to the date. Stellar Awards will start airing July 30th through the first week of August. So y'all look out for that. Plus, we got some major news that we dropped on yesterday about our upcoming TV shows. I'll tell you about that a little bit more. But let's get into this conversation. Let's get the crew up on screen. She hails from the fine state of New York, but she lives in Columbia, South Carolina. She is my friend, my sister, and the producer of the show. He hails from Virginia, Lynchburg, and he is the pastor of the My Church channel, and the My Church Church, and he's celebrating 20 years in ministry. Y'all make some noise for Pastor Lewis Tucker and Donna J. Good morning. Donna's screen is black. I don't know what's going on. Go to the two shot.
Donna done got a whole lot of sun.
Oh my God. Yes.
Donna been in the sun way too long.
Oh. Pastor Tuck, 20 years, sir. 20 years.
20 years.
20 years in ministry.
I was like, man, Donna been in the sun way too long. I don't know
Hallelujah.
where she went this weekend.
20 years. This how you introduce your old school pastor on your anniversary Sunday. We celebrate Reverend Dr. Lewis L. Tucker this morning, and as he celebrates 20 years in ministry in the mission field,
for the Lord,
laboring for God's kingdom and folks and people, and oh my God,
standing on the wall.
Send y'all hot emails. Send them to realdonnaj@gmail.com.
That's why I was blacked out.
Separate you from this nonsense. Well, good morning, y'all. How y'all doing? Y'all good?
Good morning, family.
Real talk. Happy anniversary, Pastor Tuck.
Happy anniversary.
Hey man. You know, we actually celebrate in September, but this is the actual date.
The real day.
Like I said, on July the 20th, 2002, I was licensed to preach. And on July the 20th, 2003, I was installed as a pastor.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Installed. Right. That's saying something. Installation.
Actually, I take that back. No, I was actually ordained. No, that's right. I said it right. Yeah. I was licensed in 2001. I was installed in 2002.
Praise God.
2002. And installed in 2003.
You've been preaching and laboring for a long time, sir.
Yep, 21 years, man. 21 years.
21 years. Wow.
What does that mean, Pastor Tuck? What does that mean when you get ordained and then you get installed?
The difference.
Yeah. I got called in August. That's when the Lord spoke to me and told me that that He wanted me in ministry. Then I started going to school, started training, and then my pastor. It was almost a year later, that my pastor gave me the opportunity to preach my initial sermon And that's when the church gave me the license to preach. And so at that point, I was allowed to go and preach if I had opportunity somewhere, whether it was at our church or anywhere else,
Right.
under the license of the church that I was in at that time. And then when a church approached me about being their pastor, I prayed, asked the Lord. The Lord told me they wanted me to pastor.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had to go through ordination.
Mm-hmm.
And my ordination was probably a lot different than most ordinations these days.
Mm-hmm.
Most ordination these days is pretty much ceremonial, but my ordination was real.
Mm-hmm.
I went through a process of about 3 months being catechized. I had a pastor who I would have to go to his house for probably about 5 hours a day and study with him about 5 hours a day for about 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Wow. What's catechized? What does catechized mean?
Basically, catechism is basically it's almost pledging, like in the fraternity. I mean, I had a stack of paper, probably about 3/4 of an inch thick, typed front and back, of information about church doctrine that I had to memorize. And so I would go to his house every day and he would quiz me on it. And we would go through the sections and he would quiz me on the sections, basically making sure that I knew the doctrine of the church. We would talk about it and then he would quiz me on it. And so basically he was training me in the doctrine of the church.
Wow.
And so I went through that for 3 months. And so everywhere I went, I had made 3 copies of those books. I had one beside my bed, one on my desk and at work, and one that I always kept with me. And so for 3 months, I lived and breathed and ate that. And then when I had my ordination, they had an ordination council of ordained pastors in the area, and my pastor, and then my catechizer. Basically, they had the panel basically set up, and they had an open ordination. My ordination was done in front of the congregation that I was going to pastor, and my catechizer sat across from me. We sat in front of the congregation. The ordination panel sat up in the pulpit, and basically my catechizer quizzed me on all of the subjects, and I had to answer questions from him on all of that information right in front of the congregation.
Wow. I didn't know. See, I didn't know. I didn't know you.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I had to go through all of that until the panel was satisfied.
Wow.
And then when they were satisfied on one section, he would move on to the next section. I had to go through all of the different sections. And
So-
then when they were satisfied, fully satisfied, then they went into the back and they voted and came back whether or not they would actually ordain me.
Wow. So they voted. So you had to stand out there and wait.
Yeah.
Wow. See, a lot of pastors a lot of young preachers went through that today.
A lot of young people would have never made it.
No, God don't need you to confirm me. He already called me.
And a whole lot of old pastors probably wouldn't have been qualified.
Wow.
Interesting. And to be honest, like I said, it's crazy because, and I had to send you the video because it's actually on YouTube. I sent it.
Get out.
I sent it to Papa Earls the other day. Yeah, I got him on YouTube.
Send the video.
You
We
can
gotta
actually see it.
We gotta play that. We gotta. I think some of the guys in here probably feel like I'm catechizing them. Tristan over there probably feel like I be catechizing him. I be like, hey, I need y'all to buck up.
Most of the pastors, and see, my pastor was originally from Jacksonville, Florida, and so that's how he came up. Most of the guys in this area had never seen anything like that before.
Yeah,
so they were in awe.
There's a value to process. It's like I remember young comics that would come and they wanted to get right on stage, and they'd be like, "Nah, bro, you go up on open mic night." You know what I'm saying? You get no time on the weekend, Negro. You ain't funny yet.
Nope.
It can't be. You can bomb on Tuesday night. It's okay, but this weekend, these folks need their money worth, and they want to laugh. So, yeah, it's there's value in process. So, but congratulations, sir. 20 years in ministry,
Yes.
and a part of that is right here, and ministering with us. The difference in the way things have changed. We got to do a whole show about that. 20 years later in ministry, the difference. Now they probably would have had your cataclysm on. You probably would have did it on social media, or you would have had, or some of that would have been online virtually. Pastor Tuck, you here on Zoom? We about to vote. You gonna put you on hold? We gonna go in the other room and vote. Go in the Zoom room and
Yeah.
Invoked.
Everybody who thinks he passed, can you get a prayer hands emoji?
Prayer hands emoji.
Everybody opposed, thumbs down.
Y'all, we gonna get to this topic today. Of I want to know what y'all think. Mom Earls, I saw a comment from Mom Earls. She's in the doctor's office. Okay, she said she's in the doctor's office. She said Pop Earls. She said Pop Earls on Mom's. Oh, this is Pop Earls on Mom's phone while in the doctor's office. Donna nor Pastor Tuck with freestyle while you out. See really? Couldn't get nobody to freestyle.
Nope.
No.
You know why?
No.
You know why? Because they ain't got them skills I got.
No, we
Paul
don't.
was about to try it, but we rebuked him anyway.
He was.
Paul was?
Paul was about to try it.
Thank you, Paul.
We rebuked him immediately.
Thank you, Paul. Hold on. Let me.
Stop walking in front of the prophet.
Hold on. Yeah.
We stepped slam in front of that prophet.
Brother Paul on the freestyle. They wouldn't let you get buck wild. They ain't want you to freestyle, Paul. No. Yes, y'all. To the beat, y'all. Paul Briggs came through and did his thing. Donna on the mic, she wouldn't sing. Pastor Chuck wouldn't rap because he probably would cuss if he rhymed. Back in the day, he used to do it all the time. Yes. I lost my flow. See? Time to catch a show. It's time to let it go.
Let it go. Let it go, yo. Let it go, yo.
Yes.
Like Prince said, you better let it go. Let it go. And let the rest of the show flow. Thursday morning flow show.
Stick to DJing. I like the cutting and scratching you were doing at the beginning.
That was good. See,
you're supposed to be behind the board. not behind the mic, bro.
Y'all see all that hate? I'll tell you
DJ, not an MC.
Shout out to some good love, no hate over here with P&B Promotionals, who Reverend Pelham and Brenda Myers came through yesterday and supported. Looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products, hats, mugs, backpacks, bottles. Of course, t-shirts, drinking cups, glasses, lip balm, chewing gum, candy, and more. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising institution. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. pbpromotionals.com. Imprinting the best for less. P&B Promotionals. Listen.
That's what I think I need. I need some My Church Channel gum and candy. I was trying to figure out what's a good product to put it on.
Perfect.
Put it on some college campuses that the kids gonna get gum and candy. Something they're not gonna walk away from.
Right.
Right.
There we go. Right. I'm passing this to you, Eric. You can get that to Donna. Listen, y'all. Let's get into this topic for today. So, y'all. I'm really surprised Pastor Stuck even knew about what was going on with the young lady, because he's so out of the news loop.
Only because Donna told me.
Okay, Ashley Bailey talking trash in the comments. No rapping. I come in and first thing I hear is Akintunde A and B selection. Let it be AZ. Let it be done. The Keisha and the Kale got the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil sign up. Andrea Richardson said, well, go on and sing it. How you feel it? There it is, Andrea. There it is. Kimberly Morgan.
Don't encourage him, Andrea. Don't encourage him,
because I will start again.
He only needs a little bit. He only needs
don't give him no wind. Don't give him no wind. You got to suffocate that spirit right there. Put the pillow over it, hold it down until it stops breathing.
Paul Briggs said, I would do a cipher on first Sundays before the Spades game when I come visit Columbia.
Oh my God.
You hear Jaleel screaming in the back? Absolutely not.
Hilarious. He said, I would bring some MCs with me. Come on, let's get it. Let's get it. There it is, y'all. Listen.
I have real MCs. We have real MCs. Let them stick to that.
How we know, Pastor Tuck, you won't rhyme? You can't talk about no real MCs. You right here.
Hey, I got a stable of MCs. Don't play with me. Don't play with me.
You do. He do. None of them are him though. He's like the Suge Knight of the crew. He's
Suge.
like and just like Suge said, if some of y'all you don't want your producer or your label owner all in the videos.
That's right. That's right. Come on over to My Church Records.
So I was surprised that Pastor Tuck even knew what was going on in Birmingham, but of course, Donna, kind of bring us up to speed a little bit on, on what was happening with the young lady. I mean, I saw the headline. I think when I first saw it start happening, I was actually traveling to Vegas, and then by the time I really got touched down, it began to escalate. So, kind of what had you seen and what was going on from your perspective? What you were paying attention to.
Well, I think that just giving the nuts and bolts of the story, a young lady, 25 years old, left her job that evening to go home, stopped at a store, and on her way home, she said she saw a baby that was a 3 or 4 year old toddler that was walking along the highway that she was driving.
Wow.
And she called the police to let them know. Excuse me. And then she called her aunt or a relative to let her know as well. And in the midst of that call, she was heard screaming. So I guess they all went over. They said it was like 5 minutes later, the police arrived, and her vehicle was open. Her cell phone was her cell phone, her snacks that she had gone to Target to purchase. She had stopped to get food. That was there. And she was gone.
Jesus.
There was no sign of this child that she had said that was walking down the road, which was the reason that she stopped.
Right, which when you hear it, that immediately makes you think about a lot of the sex trafficking, a lot of the abductions, because there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of creepy and very, very strategic, little sneaky, deliberate things that they do to get people to pull over and stop and pay attention.
Oh yeah. We're going to talk about some of those things a little later on too, about how to keep yourself safe.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But go ahead.
But I mean, so by the time I heard about it, again, I'm traveling as I'm hearing it, and of course your heart goes out to the family. Your heart, you're concerned because of you want, somebody's child, somebody's daughter, somebody's family member to be returned home. So then she, I hear over the weekend that she came back. And I'm like, well, praise God. Like I literally was like, praise God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus, that the girl came back home.
Everybody was saying that because she just, and like 10 o'clock at night, and now she's been missing at this point for 49 hours.
Wow.
So she walks up to her parents' house and knocks on the door.
Wow.
And, booyah. Parents call the police. They come over. And, in the meantime, in these 49 hours, it has gone viral.
Yeah.
It has gone viral. And this young lady, we don't know what happened to her. We don't know where she was or anything, even today. And what is today? Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
And this happened like a week ago, almost a week.
Yeah.
And so, we don't know anything other than what they're saying now, and they're trying to put the story together. They did have a news conference on it yesterday.
Yeah.
And they let us know a little bit more, but they were very closed mouth about what they were finding and what they had found and her condition and everything. But she was taken to the hospital, but she was released.
So the report that came out, and I saw this I saw it like not too long after I got home yesterday, and it was a police conference, police press conference, and we call it dry snitching. It's like you don't say it, but you imply, you leave enough out there, you put enough out there in the ethos, to say what happened or didn't happen, but you don't say it. That's what the police essentially came out did, and it's a couple of things that were problematic. So let me just say this right here. Again, I don't want to make light of this situation at all, but if you are going to tell a story, get your story together. Amen. You can't be out here saying crazy stuff. And so when you tell me that you followed us, the first thing that the police chief said that was a problem for me, that I was like, say what now? I literally was in the bedroom. I said, what? He said that she followed a child on the side of the road for 600 yards. You gotta understand how long 600 yards is. 600 yards is 6 football fields. That's a little.
100 yards is a football field.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. 600. Yeah, 100 yards football field. A 600 yards is 6 football fields.
Exactly.
100 yards is just under. Well, it's a little less than half of a mile. That's a little less than half a mile. So
First of all, you
that's
got to
a long
realize
distance.
how long it would take a child to get a football field.
To walk
Exactly.
that distance.
A toddler.
Or in the grass on the side of the road. And she said she followed along.
Unless he was 4 years old and he was mean, he was running from a whooping.
Even you didn't run that far. You ran on the side of the road. You ran on the street, on the road. You wasn't running in grass on the side of the interstate. It just didn't make sense.
Hey, buddy. It didn't matter. I was running from a whooping. I would have been gone. It didn't matter. I could have been running on glass. I would have still been that fast.
Yeah, you would have stopped. You wouldn't have ran 600 yards. I can tell you that. But a football field is a stretch. A football field alone is a stretch.
And a toddler in a t-shirt and the toddler was described to be in a t-shirt and a diaper. Didn't say if you had shoes on or anything like that, just a t-shirt and a diaper.
I'm looking at the comments. Some of y'all saying, Amanda said, as soon as I heard the story, I said, this has Justice Smollett written all over it.
Wow. They didn't just Smollett you.
She said, Juicy Smollett.
Jesse.
I didn't waste a prayer or a tear. Really? Mm-hmm. Even at first, Amanda? Even you first heard of Amanda? You didn't pause and pray for that girl when it first happened.
Really?
Kimberly Morgan said, exactly.
Amanda said she won't even get up her prayer time.
Kimberly, Jean Stewart said, what's up, Miss Jean? Eric, your grandma in here today. She said, why didn't she call the police while she followed the child? That doesn't make sense. So what she did say,
call the police.
But she said she was watching the child. She didn't say she was following the child. At that point, she had stopped. No. Yeah, I see Mark in here spamming.
Mark, get a real life.
Carol said, I had a sneaky suspicion that it was a hoax from the beginning, all for social media following. Really? Why would you do that for social? I told my husband this before she showed up. Oh, Lord. Okay, Kimberly's on it. Kimberly said, Mark, bro, just get out because you're wasting that chat space. Mark, you got to give Mark credit. He relentless, boy. That joker there, boy.
You know what? He's here. He's here every week. He's here every week, just like everybody else. So,
oh, my God. Takesha said, the first thing that came to my mind was, sis, haven't you heard any warnings about the trafficking schemes? And that's, what came to my mind first as well. I was like, oh my God, she got sex trafficked. Oh my God. And we're going to talk about some of those things you do need to watch out for, because whether she's telling the truth or not, this sex trafficking thing is real. And I got to show you this thing, this contraption Pastor Tucker done brought. That is Jesus. Anyway, but okay, I'm just going to say it's a pistol. It's a different type of pistol.
Y'all keep saying you ain't heard any of the sex trafficking stuff. Y'all still out here getting y'all Facebook page duplicated behind these foolish texts. Guess who died? Come on. If y'all still falling for that, y'all cannot say anything to these people.
No. Pastor Tuck, no. They done got my mama a couple times. And yeah,
and that's what I'm saying.
But it's people who are unassuming, who don't really know what's going on.
I'm not even talking about older folk. You got young folk out here getting their account. Guess who died? And you clicking the link. What are you doing?
But they doing it. They got so many different little ones. They got Guess Who Died. They got is this you in this picture?
Right.
It's a couple of more of them that'll get you.
I found your college roommate or something.
Right.
But my whole thing is, look here. Don't you send me nothing, and I don't know who you. No, I ain't talked to you in 2 years. You sending me some link and telling me to click on it.
But I'm gonna tell you though, These jokers will get crafty. They mess around and send you something about guns or something. Oh, what's up, Noop? And then you go to click in it. Check out our Founders Day pictures from 1997, and you go ahead and click that, and before you know it, your phone is in the abyss.
You send me the pictures. Don't be sending me no links.
Do you have this one in your arsenal?
Right.
Something new, right?
Yeah.
Bruh, I got too many gun sites of my own. You be playing with me.
Tashia, did I say that right, sis? Tashia and Nikhil said, I prayed and posted for awareness, etc. Being as an empath, I stayed in prayer and honestly believed the poor child was abducted because I would have pulled over to help too. That's a question we want to ask later. That's y'all tapped into a part of the flow of the show. It's like with all that's happening today. Don't answer just yet, but a little bit later, after we kind of get through this top conversation, I really want to talk about with all that's happening today. What's all this going on with all this sex trafficking, with all this scamming, with all this trickery? Has it changed the way you operate? Has it changed the way you maneuver? That's why I mentioned the stuff I used to do at the top of the show. That I'm not sure if I would do that anymore. It just brings you pause and brings you concern. Okay, Christian in here spamming too. Kimberly said, I don't stop for nobody. I'll call and report and keep moving. People ain't loyal and people are crazy. And that's what I would tell my daughters. Okay. If my daughter called me and said, Dad, I see a baby on the side of the road, what should I do? I'm 9 times out of 10. And I mean 9 times 0.9% of the time. I'm telling you, hey, pull off way down the road and call the police as you pull away. And that's a doggone shame that you would have to think that way today in 2023. That's the problem.
This is the thing. And, like you said, it's sad that you got to think like this, but if you're driving down the highway and there's a baby down the highway, you ain't the only car driving down the highway.
But here's the thing.
If you're a single lady, why are you stopping?
But and I get that, right? But there have been cases where a baby is lost and in the woods, and the baby or small child makes their way up through they're going towards the light, or they're going towards noise, they're going towards traffic, and they pop out on the side of the road. Now, in most cases, by the time you see that child like that, there's probably already an Amber Alert. There's probably already a search party out looking for that child in most cases. But again, the problem is you just don't know. It's still possible that somebody could really be in need.
Exactly.
What I'm saying is in most situations, the things you encounter, you're not the only person encountering.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah.
And see, that was one of the things too, because they were saying that she was the only person who saw this baby. That I'm sure that is a very heavily trafficked road.
Exactly.
That's I-459.
And nobody saw this infant on the side of the road. Like nobody.
Yeah.
And especially with him walking, allegedly walking 600 yards. Nobody saw it.
For that matter, if the baby's walking down the road 600 yards, you in your car following this baby down the road for 600 yards, how many cars have passed you for 600 yards? And where are the abductees coming from?
Now, to that point, I would think, and that's a good point, because in most cases like that, somebody else would have pulled over. You would somebody else probably would have saw the baby and pulled over, and hopefully there'd be a line of cars that's pulled over, so it's just not just you.
Right.
On any highway. And I know this all too well from traveling. Any highway, if there's a car pulled over on the side of the road, traffic slows down to a crawl for the rubberneck value alone.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Let me read some of the comments here. Dondria said, I was just telling my girlfriend before the hoax broke that the parents know if their child is a lie or manipulator.
Now that's something that hasn't come up.
Well, but here's the thing. The poor parents, You do know your children. You do know your children. And the bad thing about that is the parents pretty much got to walk it out. Cause you can't say, oh, my daughter's a liar. She always lying. Cause what if she not?
You just sent your daughter to jail.
Exactly.
Right.
Or you
Right.
just, if she is telling the truth this time, you done set up to go ahead and whoever's got her, they got it. They got, it's a free fall. So there's a lot of levels here, you know. But again, at some point. I won't make light of this situation. At some point when she come back to the house, that you know your child, you like, this
Where you
joker.
been?
Right.
Where you been?
You ain't been no god doggone taken. Nobody abducted you. Okay. Andrea said, Dondria, exactly. That's why the dad stopped talking during these interviews. He knows what's up.
Oh wow.
I didn't see. I didn't see the dad talking. I didn't see his response.
Did
Ashley
you see
said,
the mother? Did you see the
no,
parent?
I
The
heard
parents
about one of the
gave,
interviews.
a little news conference as well.
I feel the Jason Earl spirit coming on.
Oh, he gonna be playing the harmonica too.
How much money she owe on that car?
Gene Stewart said people stop the corner and catch puppies. Wow, on the road. No one else saw this kids.
Oh my God!
I believe
Gene,
the whole ordeal was fake. Wow.
Sis Gene.
Yep.
Wow.
I was coming home a couple weeks ago in the morning after dropping my daughter off from work. This lady almost caused an accident. There was a car in front of me. The car in front of me slammed on brakes. The lady jumped out of the car. She runs and like stops the car in front of her. And she's almost crawling up under this car because there's a kitten that had crawled under that car.
Jesus.
Trying to get this kitten from under the car. And I'm wondering, where did this kitten come from?
Right.
I'm thinking, has the kitten fallen out of your car, or something? And there's another car stopped over on the other side. And they're like coordinating this kitten rescue. And I've almost rear-ended the car in front of me. And they're coordinating this kitten rescue. And I'm like, and these jokers probably would not have stopped twice if there was a kid running across the street.
So wait a minute. So was this on an interstate or was this on like a road?
This was like I just got off of the highway, and I just pulled off, and we were pulling up to a light. But she literally, done jammed on brakes, jumped out, and she done halted this man and is up under his car behind a kitten. And
to the point that you just made right there about people not, now you got more trust. Some people, I shouldn't say you or us or we, but some people will have more trust that this kitten is out, or dog is out here stranded or lost now than a helpless female or a helpless child, because of where we are today in culture, where we are today in society. And that's the problem. That's where you get to. I'm gonna come to your comments, and then we're gonna go back to some of the facts of what the press conference, because the police put her out there. Again, the police, they went to dry snitching. They didn't want to come out and call the child all out liar, but they put out enough cards on the table in such a way that it was like, they kind of like, hey, some
things are not lining up here,
and they played it straight, straight police talk. Straight legal talk. They probably had a well-crafted statement and press conference on exactly how you need to say this, and you need to say it like this. Those sentences were very well crafted. That chief of police, his demeanor was very specific, very direct, very unemotional. I was like, okay, they did that.
There are a lot of inconsistencies in this story, but we're still investigating.
Yeah, that's
trying to
never
get to
good.
the bottom of it.
Dondria said, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I was hoping that the haters from work had set her up, wanted her to be okay. I hate that it was a hoax. So many missing African-American girls and women don't get the attention this sis got.
Right.
So sad. She sets us back. So that's
right.
that's the first question.
Exactly.
That's the first question. Do you believe that by what she did she set the African Americans or missing people of color, missing children of color, did she set them back, us back as a people by getting out there and making these statements and put it out there? Y'all drop that in the comments.
It's the law of the boy who cried wolf, but this applies to the entire segment of population because it doesn't just apply to her now. It applies to everybody connected to her.
Mm-hmm.
You mean by that everybody who looks like her?
Yes.
Andrea said the mama sticking to her story regardless, telling everybody her daughter fought for her life in 2 days.
That's what the boyfriend said too.
Yeah.
She was fighting for her life for 2 days.
Ain't nobody backed out. Again, what daddy saying? What daddy saying?
She didn't have no scratches. Like, she had, they said some kind of little wound she had. But other than that, if you fighting for your life, you're going to be kind of messed up.
Yeah. Yeah. The problem, probably the biggest issue for me was her search history, because a couple other things they put out there, I was like, well, okay, because they said that she stole something from the job. She took something. Yep.
Toilet paper.
Petty stuff. People do that all the time. Some of y'all on Clubhouse right now. Some of y'all on Facebook right now. Some of y'all on YouTube right now. Some of y'all on the My Church channel right now. You done stole stuff from your job. Okay, you done took stuff off the job.
The My Church channel viewers are not thieves.
Pastor Tuck.
Do not include him in this.
You still got leftover engineering toilet tissue in your car from way back. From way back.
You're not going to disparage the My Church channel viewers. The My Church channel viewers are good people.
We would never.
Tell us this, Donna. The My Church channel viewers are not those type of people.
I'm one of those. We would never.
Donna Pastor Tuck got 17 years. He got 17 years worth of paper towels.
That's because we shop at sales. We buy in bulk.
Paper towel said Norfolk Grumman. Like, who high-tech toilet tissue is this?
It's the half ply. They need to get a lot. It was a half ply.
All of my phone pads say Delta.
So it's a lot of y'all steal off your job. And just so anybody here, don't y'all steal no WF Media Group toilet tissue. We ain't got no toilet tissue to be spared.
Yeah.
We need all the toilet tissue and paper towels we got around here. We need our stuff. Jermaine giving the side eye. Jermaine, you know you done stole some stuff off the job. Go ahead and shame the devil and tell the truth. Copy
Would
paper.
anybody even tell it? If you stole something off your job, put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments. Come to Jesus right now. The altar is open right now
It's
for all y'all
open.
steal
You're
off your job.
forgiven. It's done. It's over.
Extra pens.
We're not talking about last week now, okay?
Copy paper, legal pads.
Paper clips. I'm gonna be open with.
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead,
Okay,
Don.
I used to work for Burger King.
Hold on. Let's get the music.
Okay, this is one of my stories. I used to work for Burger King. There we go.
Go ahead, Donna. Tell it.
And
tell the truth.
they used to make some biscuits.
Oh.
They used to make the biscuits. And Lord knows I wanted to know how to make the biscuits. I wanted to know because I was from the north. My mother never showed me how to make biscuits. But we had a biscuit maker there at Burger King, and I wanted to learn how to make the biscuits. So I figured it would be okay if I borrowed some buttermilk and some flour and took it home to learn how to make the biscuits. Well, they came through. They had an investigation.
No.
Of because there were people that were stealing money out the register.
Wow.
That was not me. That was not my
You
testimony.
ain't stole no money.
So they brought us over one by one into a small room and hooked us up to what they said was a polygraph.
Wow.
And because I felt like I was honest, they said, "Have you ever stolen anything? Have you ever taken anything?" And I said, "Yes, I took flour and buttermilk." And the next day I was fired. Along with a whole lot of other people.
Boy, these Donna files. When I tell you these Donna files, the gift that keep on giving.
Donna is not just an onion. Donna is a medallion.
Layer upon layer.
Donna one of them blooming onions. Donna one of them blooming onions. Boy, you can pick one of the petals out of here, and you still got plenty more for later.
Man,
Ooh.
yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
Donna got fired from Burger King
For buttermilk
for
and
stealing
flour.
biscuits. No, she stole ingredients.
I stole ingredients to make the biscuits.
She done stole her mama rent money. Now she stealing folks' biscuits.
But then you got to remember the other time she lost the money.
I did.
She lost the money. She legitimately lost
I
the money.
lost the money.
Jaleel, new protocol. You got to start patting Donna down when she leaves studio.
She done repented. Donna donate to the studio now. She bring
yes.
groceries
Oh,
to
yes.
the studio.
What's it? Stop.
gotta make
Get your wand and wand Donna down when she leaves studio. Turn to the side, please.
Oh, jeez, she got me here sweating. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Amanda said.
I thought,
Donna,
sometimes
why
you
is
gotta
the
tell the
microphone in
truth.
your pocket, Donna? Why is the microphone in your pocket, Donna?
That's my microphone.
Hey, I was just taking it home so that I could practice.
Andrea said it was done unto God. Technically, he owns everything. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yes,
That's a good one, man.
yes.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Dondria said buttermilk biscuits will make you do it. Look at
But I learned this. I learned this one thing from that.
Pastor Stephanie said, "Well, Donna, did you learn how to make biscuits?"
No, I didn't.
Still can't make no
I
biscuits.
still can't make no biscuits.
Still can't make no biscuits.
Still can't make nothing but popcorn and green bean casserole and a bowl of some radioactive cereal.
Now that cereal is good.
I ate all that cereal.
I ate that box.
I ate that whole box.
It was good.
I ate that whole box. Enjoyed it too. Paul Briggs said, Donna, you got to be a G. If someone asks if you stole something, you should have said Rufus is hard. Game, set, match.
Now my good friend at the time, my good friend, she was one, had the little sticky fingers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so after they interviewed me first, and so I was telling her, because I'm so naive, girl, just tell the truth. They just said it's gonna be all right. We probably wasn't even hooked up to no polygraph.
No, Burger King had no polygraph.
They just
Burger King had no polygraph. They got somebody Walkman in the desert. They hooked y'all up to somebody's old broken headphones.
I told her, I said, you might as well just tell the truth, because people gonna tell, so you might as well just tell the truth and be honest.
Wow.
And so she didn't listen to my advice, and she stayed. She kept her job. She said, I ain't taking nothing. And
she kept her job.
Still working. Yep.
Wow.
Probably still working,
robbing the folks.
Wow.
Still working, still
Still
stealing.
stealing. Well, Donna, you did the right thing. At least you came clean.
I told I was like, man, I should have lied, but I didn't. But oh well.
Jesus. I need all y'all to understand something. Say what?
Never said Donna made Krispies.
And if you don't know, Donna loves Crisp cereal.
Yes,
and
I do.
Now she got me on it. Look, Sister Cassandra on here
Delicious.
talking about hot biscuits.
It was hot biscuits. That's right.
Jesus.
And I didn't even.
Kimberly Morgan said, I took a pillow from a hotel when I was in middle school and a couple of good pens from work. Look at Kimberly.
See?
Look at Kimberly.
Confession is good for the soul.
I stopped stealing hotel towels early in my career. I said, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it.
Did they come after you if you steal a towel?
They can't, I mean, they ain't got time for it.
Hey, I ain't fooling with them folks. Them folks got your credit card number. I ain't fooling with them folks.
True that.
They'll charge you.
Yeah, that was back in the day when you could get check into a hotel with cash. So I was buying. I was getting. This is back in the early '90s. I was getting $27 hotels on the road. So this is how far back that was. Wow. Yeah,
I'd be scared to lay down.
I got a story about that too, but I'll say that for another time.
Gotta save some of these Donna files. Jaleel, we need a graphic. I need by next week. We need a Donna Files graphic. I need a folder. Tristan, do not let next Tuesday's show not find us with a Donna Files graphic. It's got to be a graphic. The Donna Files. Back to the story at hand. Jesus.
Right. We back to Carly Russell. Because Carly Russell, we back to you, honey. It's not.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I didn't do this hoax. I told the truth.
But again, when you look at what she said, okay, it says she took some stuff off the job. That again, the police dry snitched it, laid it all out. They breadcrumbed us. They kind of like, I ain't gonna call her a liar, but I'm just gonna put these little facts down along the way. And they put out that she took something. They talked about that she went to Target to buy some food, to buy some snacks. And now you said, somebody said that the snacks were still in the car. I think the some of the stuff she brought was still in the car, but all of it wasn't in the car. Some of that stuff, to me sound like a little road kit, a little kit that you buy if you know you're gonna be off somewhere for a little while.
Little overnight snacks.
Look, in the woods.
But they did say that what she bought was still in the car.
Okay.
They did say that because she went to Zeke's to get food, and she had that. She went to Target and bought some. They said some cheese nips or something and something else, and that they said that was still in the car.
The biggest problem she had, and this is why I need y'all to understand something. I need everybody to understand this right. I need all the young people in particular to listen to me on this right.
You cannot run.
No, you can't run from your. You cannot run from your cell phone. These cell phones will reveal you, and even if you think you hiding it from your spouse or your children or your parents, somebody, if they have any type of password or cell phone or search engine type of skill, they can find out what you search. This young lady, she searched the movie Taken. She searched that. She searched the movie Taken.
She did.
She searched Amber Alerts. Okay. How much? She also searched how much does an Amber Alert cost?
Right. She did.
So these are telling situations that say like, you can't hide that stuff. Even again, you can search it incognito, and the average person can't find it. Okay, you can, but if they said the Secret Service went through her phone. Why did the Secret Service go through her phone? Because the Secret Service wants to find her. Right. So at that point, it's like I don't care what you have full permission to go through that phone
once
to go look.
Once they give it to the NSA, they can find anything.
Anything.
NSA got access to everything.
It's some jokers around here from the Columbia SAC. They jokers to find out that stuff. You can listen. Somebody will find your information. So you can't hide from your search engine. You can't hide from the websites you have visited. If you're gonna do all that stuff, you need to take a step further. But guess what? If you did that on a Wi-Fi signal, they can tell what Wi-Fi signal what you did on what website you went to. You can't hide from your digital footprint. You can't hide from it. So somebody, if they really want to find you, they will. Now, if she was a criminal, they probably could not have gotten that information. But because she was a victim and her parents probably said, of course, go through her phone, do whatever you need to do to find our daughter, then you hand it over to the Secret Service with full access, and they went right on through it.
That phone should have disappeared.
If she was a criminal, they could have done it too. All they needed was a warrant.
But check the laws. You have to have permission to do that. So if you, she was
If they get a warrant.
That's if they get a warrant. It's hard to get a warrant. Saying. It's hard to get a warrant to search somebody's phone, believe it or not.
If it all depends on the crime.
Well, it all depends on what state you in. Certain states you can get in somebody's phone. Other states you can't. And Apple and Android or all these big companies, they will not give you access to that phone, particularly if you are a perp or someone who is on trial. If you're being charged with something and you don't want to give them access and they can't get a search warrant, they can't get in your phone. That's the law.
Keep believing it. Y'all keep believing it. Mm-hmm. Y'all keep believing it. Let them say national security, and I guarantee you, Apple turning over everything.
Nope, because some of the 9/11 folks, as well as those folks, I think one of the biggest cases was the folks who shot up. Somebody who did a public mass shooting in California. They wanted Apple to let them in their phone, and they would not. And they did everything. I'm talking about President Obama, the White House call, all that. Apple was like, nah, the rules is the rules, the laws are the laws, and these are supposedly privacy laws that prevents people from getting that access. So, yeah.
That phone should have disappeared. If she disappeared, that phone should have went right along with her and been destroyed.
What she also knows, too, if she go anywhere with that phone, and if it's on.
Destroy it, right, destroy it. As she was gone for 49 hours, she had time to destroy that phone.
Kimberly Morgan says
and the NSA done already hired folks that work for Apple, and they don't need Apple to get in what they need to get into.
And hackers can get in anything.
Amanda said this. She said there was a case recently where Apple refused. I think that's the one I probably saw. Even that was an older one. Kimberly said just because you delete your history or trash doesn't mean it's gone. It sure does not.
No,
it definitely does not.
All that stuff's still there.
Too many people that went to jail because of that. Exactly. Paul Briggs said, "This is why I use carrier pigeons, hail mail, and Morse code."
Hey! They can't tap that cup and string, bro.
Dondria says she knew that about the cell phone tracking. That's why she left the iPhone in the purse in the car. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kimberly says she put it in too much work behind this. Put Carly in the cell with Big Bertha. She'll learn her lesson. So okay. So that brings me to this point. Okay, and I think a couple of other facts that were a problem was she said that she was abducted, she got away, okay, then she got away again, okay, and then they said like she didn't have a lot of scars on her, clothes weren't really tattered. It says she was with a white guy with orange hair and a bald. He was balding, and she said it was a woman, but she didn't see the woman. Again, it just all sounds so convoluted. But again, you never want to call somebody a liar, and you never want to doubt someone when they say that they're a victim. Right. So my question to the Oxio family is this right here: does this in any way change the way you operate? Okay, on two levels. Number one, does it change the way you operate today in public? When you find out all of the things, and Don's going to read a list of some of the things that you can do and that people do to protect themselves, and some of the issues and some of the little tricks and traps that these scammers and these sex traffickers set for women of all ages, okay? And men. Let me just say this too, particularly men. It ain't just women who get sex trafficked, okay? So to be clear about that. The second part of it is how? What do you think in terms of what do you think the long-term implications are of this young lady if she in fact did tell the truth, to tell a lie? How much does that change things? Does that is this something that's going to happen and pass on, just be a passing point? Because you know how the news cycle is. As soon as something else happens that's big, this will fall off. And then the last question is, why can anybody, I know it's all pontification or speculation, but why would somebody do something like this? What is any benefit? Did she just want to get away? Did she go to see somebody? And if she did something like that, you do know there's always somebody that will talk. If you went to see a dude or you went to see, somebody's going to talk. There's always somebody that tell the truth. So, and this is a precautionary tale to any, like, why would somebody do this? Please explain this to me in any, that's my question. Why would you do that? What's the value of it? You don't get no reward.
Nope.
The fame is fleeting, at best. You ain't gonna get no book deal out of it. Yeah, you got to see Tropic Thunder to know that you can't lie but so much. They're gonna figure it out. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. But start, Donna. Does this change the way you operate? Would you, Donna? Would you pull over? You're a mother. You're a grandmother. You love children. Would you pull over if you saw a small child on the side of the road? Would you pull over and help?
And absolutely, honestly, I could say, I don't know. I really don't know. My heart would be like, yes, but my brain would be like, be safe. So it would be a struggle between my conscious, as a woman, and I see a small child.
Yeah.
And like you said, as a grandmother, as a mom, as a sister, as a female, just there's a child on the road in a diaper in a t-shirt. There's something has to be done. But I also realize by that same token, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm all that.
Yeah.
And those people count on me too to keep myself safe. So, it's a toss-up. And honestly and truthfully, in today's society, I don't know if I would pull over.
Jesus.
Now, I may, call somebody like she did, maybe follow them along, but I'm not getting out of the car.
Good Lord.
So maybe just kind of be driving on the side so the kid doesn't run in the road, but I'm not getting out of the car, and my doors will stay locked.
Good Lord. So would it make a difference? Would it be different situationally? I mean, if you were, or geographically, if you were around here in 29203, this the hood right here. Would you feel a little bit more safe? Because you see, Rochamel on the side of the road, and you like who? Look, just a little baby. You like, look like somebody's child that got out the house.
No, I still wouldn't feel safe, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because in researching all this, I saw so many examples, like on TikTok and whatnot, of abductions. People showing how you could be abducted. All that is on there, and it's a little terrifying to see all the little schemes that there are out there, just set up, that criminals have set up just so that they could get you or get your child or whatever. And it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian, or whatever. It does not matter. So no, I don't feel safe either way.
Keep them doggone babies out the street. Ice Cube boys in the hood.
Calling the police. That's the number one thing. Call the authorities and let the authorities handle it. Now, if you can watch from a safe distance, do that. But call the authorities and keep yourself safe. That's your job, is to keep yourself safe.
Jesus. My God. That's where we are in society today.
Where's the compassion in our hearts? What we also have to think with, that people are out here. Sex trafficking is a business. Business.
And it's crazy to me that people do stuff like that. It's not just like the one or two people who's a strange or crazy person or the off person or the demented evil person. This is an industry. You're not pimping women who want to be pimped. I'm not talking about these old school pimps that's taking advantage of women in a compromised state. No, you are abducting people and drugging them and changing their entire mindset. That's crazy to me.
And you know what? They're also, nobody is, everybody can be taken. Anybody can be taken.
Right.
Because they are taking people for organs. For your organs.
Yeah.
So it's not just like little kids that are getting abducted, teenagers. They're taking grown people as well for their organs.
Wrong button. I'm sorry.
It's crazy.
Wrong
It's
button.
crazy out there. You have to be on your P's and Q's all the time.
Yeah.
24/7, 7 days a week, head on swivel.
Well, speaking of which, we got to 24/7. We got to get some promos in. Yeah. When we come back here, I'm going to read y'all comments. Y'all on fire in these comments today. I'm going to check Facebook too. Clubhouse is on fire. And let's see what Facebook is talking about. Again, does this change the way you operate? Women today, young women, grown women, older women. elderly women, whatever age you are, would you stop and help a child? Fellas, do you help people change tires anymore? Do you give random people rides anymore? Hey family, let's talk about it. Does this change the way we move and operate? This is the Akintunde Show. Don't move.
Greetings. I am Darrell Presley, owner and operator of Presley Cares Mortuary Services of West Columbia, South Carolina. Our mission here at Presley's is to provide excellent, quality, superior funeral service to all, regardless of economic status, religion, or race, with our society being embedded with a diverse class of people. Our staff here at Presley's pledges to offer only one class of service, and that is superior. So rendering professional services to the families that call upon us is not an option, it's mandatory. Presley Cares Mortuary Services, where we are caring for you and your loved one.
Looking for promotional products and apparel? Look no further than P&B Promotionals. Place your brand and logo on just about anything with P&B Promotionals. Over 800,000 products, caps, travel mugs, drawstring bags, water bottles, stadium cups, umbrellas, tote bags, and t-shirts. P&B Promotionals is a nationally certified advertising company. Log on to pbpromotionals.com and start your order now. pbpromotionals.com.
Imprinting the best for less. Oh, yeah.
All right, y'all. Want a better way to make your money grow? That's potentially better than a 401k or CD? Consider the Gold Standard Group, banking on the blockchain. Learn more about blockchain banking by reaching out to Legacy Wealth Builder and Asset Acquisitions Specialist, billionaire Keisha Walker. With so many banks failing and changes in the market, now is the time. To get more information, text CONTROL to 803-312-2873. That's 803-312-2873. Text CONTROL to 803-312-2873. Keisha Walker and the Gold Standard Group. Donna J, what you got, sis?
Are you in need of a quality used vehicle? Well, consider my friends over at Woods Automotive Sales. Whether you're in the market for a new vehicle or a used vehicle, foreign or domestic, Woods Automotive can get you rolling. Give them a call at 803-401-5837. That's 803-401-5837. Or go by and see Lester. That's right, Lester at 802 Hazelwood Road in Columbia, South Carolina. Woods Automotive Sales, guaranteed to ride with a smile.
All right, y'all. Lots going on here at WF Media Group. Thank you to all of our sponsors, all of our partners, all who help us to do what we do to keep us, keep the lights on. Okay, keep us in the building. Keep things flowing. We appreciate y'all. If you would like to advertise with us, give us a call at 803-738-6604. 803-738-6604 to get more information about getting your business or promos or sponsorship information. We got it for you. 803-738-6604. We're still hiring for salespeople, y'all. We still got sales positions to fill. We've been hiring folks. We got a couple of more people that's about to start, but we're still hiring for salespeople. And listen, we announced yesterday we got a 26 episode pickup for our brand new show that we'll be shooting right here in Columbia, South Carolina. So guess what? A part of that is going to be local sales opportunities and regional sales opportunities. So you can make some money. I'm telling you right now, listen, y'all want to, you do a lot of stuff. You sell Amazon, you sell eyelashes, you sell weaves and all that. Listen, we got some opportunities here for you. So give us a call and get more information about being a sales team member or buying some advertising. All right, y'all, we talking about this today. This is the young lady, Carly Russell. Did she, that's the question, And then why would she do that if she did? I asked the question before we went to break, does this change the way you operate? Okay, does this change the way you maneuver? Have you shifted the way you think about things? Would you help somebody out? And that's the sad part, because there's people who legitimately need help. There's children who legitimately need help. What I thought about y'all was, if you're in any way apprehensive, what if you were in a convenience store and a small child rolled up on you has been abducted or is being sex trafficked or something like that, and that child comes up and say, "Hey, I need help. This stranger, this person took me." What do you do now? Do you pick the child up and go get in the car, or you stay right there with the child? Or what do you do now? Do you do like, "I'm sorry, little man, I can't help you," and then you run away? I mean, we living in treacherous, perilous times when you have to think twice about helping a child. I don't know that was the case back in the day, that somebody would utilize a child. I'm sure there was. I'm sure they were. I'm sure there were people who but I mean, again, I don't know. I probably picked up over the years. I probably gave 30, 40 people a ride someplace, being on the road all the time. So it wasn't strange to me or foreign to me. Oh, my man car broke down. Okay, where you going, bro? Man, just drop me off at the next exit. Okay, no problem. Man, you got a spare tire? You got some jumper cables? That's the big one right there. I always keep jumper cables in my vehicles. I don't care what kind of car I got. I always keep jumper cables. Man, you got jumper cables? Yeah, I got jumper cables. Man, you give me a jump? Yeah, I got you. I mean, we live in interesting times when you got to be fearful and concerned about something as simple as that. So, does it change the way you maneuver? Jamal, you and Pastor Bates, drop in there. Jamal, do you help people out? Do you help folks? Do you pick up people? Do you pick up children? Would you help an old lady that need a tire change? Yeah. Like, on this very road, now I think about it now, before I was even living down that road, this very road when I first moved down that road, I picked the lady up. Her truck had broke down in the middle of the street, and me and 3 other guys had hopped out and pushed the truck up on the side of the road. Then I took her home, and she was trying to get to church. She was straight church mama. She had a full white suit on with a white hat, and took her home, and her son gave her a ride to church. Kimberly Morgan said, a guy came into my yard 4th of July night while I was out with my nieces asking for help. It was dark and looked shady and kept moving towards us as I was getting them in the house. I pointed my decision maker, and he left. Wow. My niece was on the phone with my dad when this happened. Wow, you had to pull a gun on dude, Kimberly? She called it a decision maker. I like that. My decision.
You got a decision to make, sir. You can catch this bullet or you can leave.
What was he asking for? What kind of help was he asking for, Kimberly? See, Kimberly, man, he might need some prayer. He might want some crackers.
He learned how to pray for himself right there in that moment.
Because he was calling Jesus. Oh Lord, look what you got. Oh Lord Jesus, get out of here.
They say you can either feed a man, you can either give a man a fish or teach him how to fish. She taught him how to fish. Right there in that very moment.
Wow.
Paul Briggs said after the Ox show today, after the show, first 48, 1 hour too late. Oh my God. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Kimberly said a new thing now is placing money on your windshield, and when you go to get people being abducted. Yeah. Donna's gonna read a list. One of the lists of things they're doing is they'll put something on your windshield or put something on your handle, and then you get something on your hand that'll cause you to pass out. Or now they're putting stuff on your handle of your car, and you touch the car, and then you feel nauseous or whatever, and it's like, hey, if you feel nauseous, pull off. You probably better to run into a car trying to pull off than it is to stay there. Yeah. Because at least if you run into somebody's car, it's probably gonna trigger an alarm, or somebody gonna come out, or somebody gonna call the police. But I mean, we're living in some interesting times today, when people are doing treacherous, evil stuff like this.
Evil stuff.
Yeah.
That's evil.
Kimberly said, it won't change how I do things as long as my phone works. I'll make the call, and that's it. It just me, that baby, the stroller could be a midget with a gun.
Yep.
I'm a key, bro.
That's what some of my friends were saying about, if that Carly thing was true, if Miss Russell was telling the truth, that it could have been a little person.
A little person, yes.
So I was like, it could have been anything, it could have been.
Y'all got to understand, you can't say the M word.
Nope. Yeah,
can't say the M word.
It's a little person.
Pastor Tuck, you cannot say the M word.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm gonna let you go down that road by yourself. I'm letting you go down that road by yourself today.
Kimberly, I read it. I didn't. You can't say the M word.
A little person.
But now you talk about, does it change how you operate? I guess for me, I've always operated a certain way. Coming from the hood, I've always been rather conservative in my movements. I raised even though my kids have never really spent a lot of time in the hood, I raised my kids a certain way. It's in my neighborhood, there have been times where I've forgotten to lock my car, or forgotten to lock my door. But most people are like, I'm like, dude, I don't even think like that. I don't go nowhere and not lock my doors.
Yeah.
I don't go to my mama's house and not lock my doors. You understand?
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't. I don't move like that.
Yeah. Because,
like you said, when you grew up and spent time in the hood, you learn to operate a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because my wife used to counsel veterans all the time. So she talked about how the vets have PTSD. How they when they come back, they don't like sitting with their backs to doors. So I'm like, I got that same thing from the hood. We don't operate. It's just certain ways you learn to move when you've been in dangerous environments.
So do you help people in general situations? Like if you're in a grocery store parking lot and somebody pull up and say, "Hey, can I get a jump?" Do you give them a jump?
It all depends. If it's a middle of the day, if it's depending on if a lot of people out there, middle of the day, depending on who it is, you know what I'm saying, the situation, sure. I'm not gonna pull over in the corner of a parking lot, after dark, going to jump somebody. I'm like, nah, bro, can't help you. You know what I'm saying? Keep it moving.
But you're a pastor though. You're a pastor. You supposed to help people.
It don't matter. And see this is the other thing. It's like God didn't give me a spirit of fear, but He gave me the Holy Spirit. Yeah. And I'm always talking to the Holy Spirit. Now the Holy Spirit tell me to do something. I mean, I go down in the jungle, you know what I'm saying, and go get somebody because God told me go get them.
Yeah.
Because I know He told me to go. But in the same way that Jesus told the disciples, you didn't have a sword, but go get two. Like He said, I carry heat during the summertime. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I can always keep it warm. I'm like Kimberly. I always got the decision maker for you. So you understand? You try to abduct me or do something to me, it's gonna be big game hunting out here.
Jesus.
This not. I'm not an easy win.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jesus.
I've taught my kids to operate a certain way, because one of the things that I hate about this generation, these younger generations, is these earbuds.
Oh yeah. And being on the phone, period.
Yes, and being on the phone, walking around,
looking
down in that phone,
looking
down in that phone.
Yeah, your whole
looking in that phone.
You out somewhere and your whole day you've been on your phone the entire time, totally unaware.
Yes, yes,
yeah.
And so I taught my kids that from the jump. First of all, I said you don't never wear two earbuds.
Never.
I said never. I said, unless you in your house with the doors locked.
Yeah.
I said, you don't ever walk around with two earbuds on. I said, you need to be able to hear what's going on around you,
and
at all times.
And back in the day, your parents would tell you don't be walking around with headphones on, like your Walkman on. I mean, that was a big thing because a car could be coming, or the ambulance could be coming, or a fire truck or whatever could be coming. You want to make sure you can hear if something is around you. But now it's different reasons. It's like, hey, you need not be in any way so distracted that you can't hear if someone is running up on you, or you out in public and you hear some type of shooting. You need to hear that well ahead of time, as fast as you possibly can, because you walking around with a phone on, you probably with earbuds on, you might not hear that tap 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 when something is happening. And these public mass shootings have become all too common in this country. I know we all covered in the blood of Jesus, and that won't happen to you or anyone connected to you. But I think you need to be aware. You need to be situationally aware of what's going on.
But see, I don't run with some gutter type dudes. You understand? And I know the mentality, how you spot a victim. You understand? I know what you're looking for when you're looking for somebody that's an easy win. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's an easy mark. And so it's like those were the things that's always on my mind. I'm like, no, bro, you don't do that. You just put yourself in a situation that made yourself easy to take advantage of. And so that's why I've always taught my kids to operate a certain way. I've always told them, situational awareness are terms that most people have never heard. And it's like my kids were saying stuff like that when they were like 12 or 13 years old. Yeah. And they would say stuff like, my wife, like, what are you talking about? Situational awareness is like, you always, when you go somewhere, you always looking to see what's going on around you. You got to make sure you know who's in the room, what's going on around you, so that you know if something's about to pop off. If you see somebody who looking suspect.
That's the hood way of saying it. It is check your surroundings. Like when you get out the car, look around. And when you pay attention to the trees, pay attention to the woods, look at the side of the house, look at that car. Is somebody in the car? How many cars are out there? Why is there a car out there? Whose car's parked over there? All those things you should be considering and thinking about when you walk in your house. It's just magnified today because there's so much scamming, so much trickery, so much foolishness that simply just was not the case today. You wonder people's minds, and I don't want to go down that road, but just the thoughts of how people do things that people are willing to do today.
But it's always been that way. These things have just increased.
Yeah, they increased. Yeah.
You talk about how many people you done picked up over the years. Hitchhiking ain't never been safe. I mean, it's been crazy hitchhiking for years.
Oh yeah.
And all of those things are things that you always had to be mindful of. One of the things that Pastor Stephanie situation that she made in the comments early on, she lost one of her high school friends back in 1990.
Wow.
Because they were actually in college and her friend was getting ready. She had just spoke to her friend. Her friend was stopped at the mall on the way going back to school and coming back to her car. And you know how you had 4 doors, but they weren't automatic locks. She goes to her car and the doors weren't locked, and she gets in her car and 2 white guys jump in the back seat of her car. And make them drive off somewhere. And they ended up bashing her head in with a rock. They raped her, murdered her, and that's something she had to deal with, as a college student. Yeah. One of her best friends that happened to. But once again, these are things, these are things, we share with our kids, and we don't share stuff like that for people to walk in fear, because like you said, we plead the blood of Jesus over our kids, right? But the thing about it is, there's one thing the Bible talks about: being wise as serpents and gentle as lambs. We have to recognize the world that we live in, and that there is evil out here, and so we don't walk around naive. And so people are like, "Well, you a pastor? Why are you carrying a gun?" I'm like, because guess what? There may be a situation where I have to deal with something.
Yeah. I tell my children all the time. I tell them, I say, listen, I said, one big thing, I said, if somebody comes up to you, you don't go nowhere with nobody. And that's anybody right here. If somebody say, come go with me, whatever you're going to do it right here, sir. Because we ain't going nowhere. If we gonna fight, let's fight right here. If you gonna shoot me right here. Whatever you gonna do it right here. Cause we ain't going nowhere. Cause once they get you in that car, once they get you off to themselves, they got you. And it's a whole other situation at that point. But the best thing for you to do is fight where you are. I'm coming to your comments, and then I want to come back to the other part.
When they went to school, I said, you don't drink nothing from nobody. Do not take a open container from anybody. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
I said, don't use nobody's lotion. Don't lose anything that can be absorbed into your skin. I said, and people think, oh, that's paranoid. No, it's not paranoid.
No, it ain't paranoid.
There's stuff out here. I said, you don't eat after nobody. I said, because you don't know what people are doing these days. You don't know what they taking, and you don't know what they're trying to give you.
Right.
That's right.
I mean, because even if they're not trying to drug you, they could be. They're not trying to abduct you, but they could be trying to drug you.
Exactly.
And they could be taking something themselves, and now when you become compromised, you're in a compromised situation, and now somebody do something to you because you compromised, and you don't know what happened.
Amanda said they are going to dig up every single dirt she did. I hope to God she didn't apply for PPP loans.
Oh, wow.
That's a tactic. It all depends. We don't, and like I said, whether or not she's telling the truth or not.
Yeah.
If they don't like something about this situation, that's a tactic of the police. They're gonna discredit the witness.
Yeah. If you got somebody that can discredit you, but to that point. Like, cause I thought the same thing. I said, yeah, but Andrea said it best. She said, yeah, that Google search really did it for me. SMA shaking my head. Yeah, that Google search was a problem. I was willing to write off the 600 yards because most people don't know distance.
Right.
Most people and certain people. I'm not gonna call no names. I get in trouble. But certain people, that's why I only take directions from old black men and old white men. That's all I take directions from.
You about to get in trouble.
Yeah, because they're gonna tell you the exact. It's a map quest. Go down there about 1.48 miles. You're gonna hang a right on I-20. You're gonna take that out 3-4 miles before you get to that I-20. You're not just stay straight. Don't pay attention to nothing else.
There's a big sycamore tree down there. When you get to that big sycamore tree, it fell down in the storm a couple weeks ago, but it's still down there. When you get down there, you turn by that big sycamore tree laying over there in the gully, and
you're gonna hang a right, you're gonna stick it all the way out, you're gonna pass a Pep Boys, you're gonna go down there to the Chinese restaurant on the corner, hang a right at the Chinese restaurant. That should be at 1.6 miles down the road.
Then you're gonna hit a dog leg left. Now you hit a dog leg left.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but some things that people should know. I just want to put this in here.
Yes.
Criminals assess their situations by assessing the ease of their victim, how they, if they can get to that victim, how easy it is for them to get to that victim, their potential for being hurt, so the potential for themselves being hurt,
that's right,
and how likely they are to get away with it. So those are the three things that the criminals are looking for.
Read those again.
Assessing the ease of their victim. They are the potential for them being hurt.
The criminal himself.
Right. And how likely they are to get away with the crime.
Yeah.
That's the three things that they look at or they're assessing before they attack you, before they do it. Those three things will run through the criminal mind. Especially can I get away with it?
That's okay. So, and if that brother had bad intentions, who wrote upon Kimberly Morgan, he assessed the situation
very quickly.
And
she looked like a victim.
He quickly changed his mind.
He was like, you know what?
She ain't no victim.
I'm good.
This ain't worth it.
Speaking of which, not worth it. Jaleel, put that picture up of that contraption Pastor Tucker done purchased for the Tucker gals. Lord have mercy.
I was going to ask you, Pastor Tuck, too. Do you recommend for your girls to carry decision making?
That's what they carry right there.
This right here is something that I recently bought for my oldest daughter. And what this is a pepper spray pistol. It's an air powered pepper spray pistol. If you see the one on the right, it's got three canisters in it. The green one is just chalk balls where you can actually practice up against a hard target to get your accuracy together. The middle one actually has pepper spray balls in it, and they hit you and they burst like paintballs.
Wow!
So if you shoot somebody with that, it's gonna hit them in the chest. It's gonna burst just like a paintball, and now they got a face full of pepper spray, and it's gonna immobilize them. And then that one on the left, it's got real hard plastic balls in them. And so those gonna hurt real bad because they coming out under gas power. And then you see the little silver CO2 cartridges in there. It's gas powered. And so you put them in there, it's got a clip just like a regular gun. It looks just like a Glock, but it's TSA approved. So they got a card. They got a card that come with it. You can carry that on the airplane.
So now that I don't see how that's going to happen. I got pulled up the other day because I had a razor blade in my doggone pocket, like a regular razor. So how you gonna get on a plane or get through TSA with that Donna? I'm
gonna tell you, it's gonna take it'll take work, I'm sure. But the card actually tells you it's TSA approved.
It might be
his cousin TSA. His cousin.
They can't take it. I bet they can't take it through a checkpoint. They can't take it. I bet they can't take it through.
I can't see how you get through checkpoint with that.
You can put it in your luggage.
They probably let you take. They probably let you take in your luggage. But maybe that's what they say. They say it's TSA approved.
Maybe you can check it.
You don't have.
You can check
it. That's what I said. You can put it in your luggage.
You can't
because you have to go through a whole lot of stuff when you're taking a gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's so many people. And I'm gonna tell you, there's so many people who have gone through, forgot they had it in their luggage, and try to go through TSA and the carry-on part. And man, it's a whole thing.
Wow,
it's a whole thing. They take the gun. You're gonna be there for hours.
Yeah, it's like quite a few people I know who that's happened to. Y'all hop over on Facebook.
I sent Jaleel another picture too. If you get that picture up, I want to show you another.
But go back. I got a question for you about the pepper spray. Go back to the pepper spray gun, Jaleel. So go through those again. You said one is chalk balls.
Yeah, that's just for practice. That's for you to be able to practice up against a hard target, like up against a wall or a piece of plywood or something like that, so you can get your accuracy together.
And what's the second one? The
second one in the middle with the little orange at the bottom. You can see the orange at the bottom. That's what the actual pepper spray balls look like.
Great thing. And the green one is?
That's the green one is the chalk, and the gray one is actually hard. They're very hard, solid, hard plastic.
Okay, so that's designed to hurt you.
Yeah.
And what?
That's a stinger. That's a stinger.
And what does the CO2 do? Is that what that's a knockout gas?
No, that's what powers it. It's like if you've ever had a gas powered BB gun, that's what powers it. That's what gives it the projectile power.
Jesus. So it ain't gonna kill you.
It's gonna hurt you.
But it's gonna leave a real big bruise.
So see, that's an I'm sorry gun right there. That's the gun. Somebody walk up to you and say, "Hey, ma'am, I'm trying to find you." Like, pap, 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 pap.
Yep. Light them up.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I thought you were trying to do something to me. I'm just asking for directions.
I told my daughter, just like Kimberly Morgan said, I told my daughter, I said, if they walk up, you tell them stop. If they keep stepping, light them up.
Jeez, yeah, that's about the size of it.
I think of Ralphie, you gonna put your eye out. He can't have no BB gun.
You know, like I always say,
you gonna put your eye out.
If I walk up to anybody, particularly a woman, I talk at a distance. Hey, ma'am, question. I'm trying to, or do you know where the mall, or do you know where the Chinese restaurant, whatever it is, you want to be far away from someone to make them feel comfortable with you, and then you don't want to put yourself in a compromising position where somebody feels uncomfortable, and then you get lit up.
And see, I tell you, and as big as I am, when people start walking up to me, approaching me, strangers walking up to me, approaching me, I put my hand in my bag. I put my hand on my decision maker. I'm like, hey, don't walk up on me fast. Don't walk up on me like you know me, and you don't know me. Don't get too familiar.
Jesus.
A whole lot of folks in the past that got laid down like that real quick.
Check the comments on Facebook, because I'm using my phone today, so I can't open up Facebook without the audio.
I'm looking at it.
Oh my God, this is, man.
Larry Keys said wearing earbuds and hoodies year round.
Yeah.
Talking about that's not a safe thing.
Yeah. Young people, a lot of y'all, some of y'all in this room right now, I ain't gonna call y'all, wearing hoodies and headphones. Can't hear nothing. Situationally unaware.
Oh, you don't know. Just as a young man in general, with the kind of violence that we see in our community, you don't know how easy that is for you to get victimized. Because there are young men out here, just some that just literally, whether they want to rob you, whether they just want to beat you down just for cred or whatever, you just put yourself in a situation.
Yeah.
And so that's a reason why you don't do that. It makes you a weak target when you do that.
Yeah.
And somebody will sit there and do that and knock you slam out, stomp you out and going on about their business.
Yeah.
Just because you walking around with a hoodie on and some headphones on.
Yeah. And you just got to be, wisdom should tell you to operate differently today because of what is going on in this culture, whether that is you being looked at as, like Pastor Tucker was talking about, looking at as a perp or a criminal, or you being marked as a victim. Donna, go back to your list on some of the other things that, you know, that can cause you problems, some of the other little tricks and traps that they're setting. Because I want to make sure we get these couple of those in for the ladies.
Okay.
And if Jaleel get a chance, pull that other picture I sent.
Got it.
I just want to say to Pop Earls, he said Donna is very knowledgeable on this subject with the TSA because I worked for Delta Airlines at the airport for 18 years.
Yeah.
Pop Earls.
And you
so
done
that's
seen
why
people.
yes.
Yeah.
So okay. So number one rule is to be aware of your surroundings. We talked about situational awareness. Now, these are some of the traps that you could run into, ladies and men. These are some of the traps you could run into. If you see two cones on each side of a lane, if you're driving at night and you see two cones on each side of the lane and they're blocking the road, do not get out and move them. Because someone may be waiting for you to get out of your car and they will rob you, attack you, whatever.
Wow.
So don't get out, turn around, go the other way if you have to, but don't get out of your car.
What women moving cones? Y'all getting out cars moving cones?
Hey, I guess, they said, well, let me move this because
You
they're blocking the road.
with that bumper.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you knock that over. You run that over.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
That's just like when you got people standing in the road. If they want to stand in the road, block the street,
Run
move them with that front bumper.
Look at Pastor Tucker. Y'all. Look at Pastor.
Yes, y'all heard the pastor.
Look at Pastor.
Move him with that bumper.
Pastor
Give him the
Stephanie.
horn first.
Please
You
come
give him the
on.
horn first.
Horn, bye, bye,
No,
bye.
Somebody-
he gets the horn first.
Somebody
After
call
that,
Pastor.
he gets the tires.
Somebody call Pastor Stephanie and tell her come get her husband, please. He up here.
Hey,
Now, this is
I got two daughters. Like we got one rule. Listen, you get home at the end of the night.
That's right.
Yeah.
Survive.
Yeah.
Survive.
Yeah.
So zip ties. Now this is something. Zip ties
Yeah.
being placed on the back passenger door handle. Okay.
That's a scary
if you see that there's a zip tie on the back passenger door of your car, you are marked as vulnerable, that you're alone, and that you're a good target for sex trafficking. Take that, cut it off immediately, because that is a clue. It's a whole thing. That is a clue that you are vulnerable, that you're, for sex trafficking.
But should you stop
Well,
and
hold
do
on,
that?
hold on.
Should you
I'll
stop
give
and
it a second.
pause?
If you're parked.
If you see that on your car, get in your car, lock your car, and drive home.
Right.
Cut that off when you get to the house.
No. You should not drive home because that means they're following you. That what they do is they marking your car for them to follow you. You need to drive to the police station.
Exactly.
No, I'll give it a say. Drive where you know there's somebody.
Right.
Yeah. You
Don't
don't want
drive anywhere where you by yourself.
Yeah, because what they'll do is they'll track you. They'll utilize that as a means to track you. So if you get that, particularly if you're driving home by yourself, you got an apartment, you live in an apartment complex by yourself, or you live you live by yourself in the driveway or whatever. That is if you see that, everything has changed. I say you go directly to the police station. You call somebody you know. You call the police. You call your father, your husband, your friend, your brother, somebody you know, and say, "Hey, I just saw I got a zip tie on my car, and I don't know what that means."
I'm on the way to your house. Be in the driveway.
Yeah. Or
Be
you
in
come
the
to
driveway
me.
With your
with the
decision maker.
Be in the driveway with the decision maker.
That's right.
Have the heat on.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my God. Go ahead,
now,
Don.
if you are do not sit in your car idle for a period of time. And if you do have to sit in your car idle, please keep your doors locked. As soon as you get in your car, you should be locking your doors because that's how a lot of people are, they're getting abducted, is because when they open their car door, the lock's open.
Right.
Then it's easy access for somebody who's waiting on the opposite side of your car to get in.
Sitting in the car watching TikTok videos.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And one thing about this, a lot of us use Uber or Lyft.
Right.
Check when you get in that back seat. Check and see if the child locks are on. If they're on, unlock those things, because if they're on and they lock you in, you're in there and there's no way for you to get out.
Jesus.
So make sure when you're getting in, take a look. If the child locks are on, either take that thing off or do not get in that car. Period.
We out of time, but I got one question for y'all. I'm gonna start with you, Donna.
Okay.
Why do you think she would do this? I want y'all to drop in the comments. Why would somebody do this? If she did in fact do this, we don't know, of course. I don't know this young lady. I don't know her family. My heart goes out to her and them. Even if she did lie about this, then the question becomes is why would somebody lie about something like this? Why would somebody go that far to that degree to plan some type of hoax, an elaborate hoax? Why would she do that, Donna, in your opinion?
You know what? I just don't know why. I don't even, my mind doesn't even think like that. So I don't even know why she would do that unless it's just for attention. She had a little side piece out there. She didn't want to be caught because she has a boyfriend. Or she just mentally unbalanced.
That's a lot of work to be creeping.
Exactly. But once you put yourself out there, then because she had also looked at tickets and stuff to leave. But once you put yourself out there, then because she had also looked at tickets and stuff to leave.
That's my fault.
Yeah. So there, she had looked at tickets to leave, and so it looks as if she had planned this, and it could have been a rendezvous. Yes. And then when it was done and you come back, but I don't think that she knew that it was going to explode like this.
And when you say explode, meaning the attention?
All the attention, yes. I don't think she thought that it was going to explode like that.
And I think that's what somebody said. They said for so many sisters, somebody said in the comments earlier, for so many sisters who do not get this attention for actual abduction. And here she got the national attention. She had the local attention from the local Hoover police. Hoover, Alabama is not the hood. Just saying it like that. It's a suburb of Alabama. I'm well familiar with Hoover, Alabama. So again, for her to take this extra step and to go this extra mile, if she did in fact do that, that's a serious problem. Pastor Tuck, why, in your opinion, I'm coming to your comments too. Why do you think she would do something like that, sir?
Like I said, just for attention is the only thing I could think of. But I'd rather take this last couple seconds to share something I think that help people stay safe, because this is a more poignant issue. Jaleel, put that picture back up. This right here is a Spartan defense keychain. You buy those online. And you can see you put your two fingers between that, and then you got the sharp end sticking out from your fist.
Jesus.
And that's how you walk to the car with your keys in your hand. If you don't have one of those, you just take your keys and put your keys through so that your keys in your fingers, so that you basically got claws that if somebody comes to you, you got something to scrape across the front of their face.
Good Lord.
Amen.
Wow.
But that's a defense mechanism for ladies. Another thing that I bought all the ladies in my church for Mother's Day are taser flashlights.
Love it. Love it.
Like I said, and when you hit that bad boy, you hear a pop. She ain't playing.
Wow.
But it's a flashlight hooked to your keychain. You push the button on there, and you can hear the voltage on it. So now when somebody you in the dark parking lot, you turn that flashlight on. Hey, who that?
Yeah.
If they don't respond correctly, hit that pop. They'll back up a step. But these are simple things. Like I say, you want to make sure you got something to deter somebody from approaching you. And like you said, just be real mindful of who you are. Like I said, I don't like the fact that ladies out here being unsafe in these situations.
Yeah. Ladies, you know, at the end of the day, if you know, be safe if you can. Well, Donna, what you got there? What is that?
Keys.
Oh yeah.
Keys. Hold your keys in your hand.
Yeah.
And have them ready to go if you if you need to.
That little fist Donna got, like, it hurt too. Like that fist, that right there, that'd do some damage right there now. Great day. Jesus.
Use a pen. If you got something, use a pen. You use whatever you have to try to
always
disable.
when you leave out the building, make sure you got something in your hand ready to go. Don't ever go out just not paying attention. Like you said, talking on your phone or whatever.
Yeah, being distracted.
And one of the things, this is really important, that I didn't even think about this, but one of the things that they were saying that if you get into a scuffle with somebody, ladies, scratch them. Because their DNA is going to be underneath your fingertips. Yeah. Underneath your nails. Scratch. Yeah. Get that
be
DNA.
all over them keys too. Yep. And go for the nose. Go for the nose. Because once you get them in the nose, they can't see. They can't breathe. They'll back up off you.
Get them.
Y'all, we live in interesting times, y'all.
Yes, we do.
Got to be aware. You got to be cognizant. You got to be considerate of the times we're living in right now in 2023. And this ain't the days of old. It's a new day. My God, I'm going to try to squeeze it in.
Oh, here we go.
For Donna.
Yes.
Been a while.
I'm going to handle my business out there in these streets. Handle your business in these streets. With a cricket letter.
Stealing buttermilk and flour. See the business shout out is for Burger King. Go and get you a biscuit. No, you can't. They make the sauce now because Donnie stole all the flour. They don't even sell biscuits no more. Donnie stole all the buttermilk and flour.
Today's Kingdom Business shout out goes to Angela Dillard Warren. Angela, she is Miss AD on Clubhouse. That's MSADEE. She said, I'm here to learn, grow, share, and connect. Represent Michigan. She loves God, the mother of 1 biological and 3 adopted children who affectionately call me aunt. She's an educator, encourager, keto enthusiast. I hear you. Love what you eat, healthy, intermittent fasted, and daily working out is doing for my health. HBCU graduate, Central State University, graduate school, Central Michigan University. Our Kingdom Business shout out of the day.
All right.
Angela Dillard Warren. All right, y'all. Woo! We got to get up out of here. We got to get up out of here, y'all.
Cricket letter.
Coming up next week, it is, ladies and gentlemen, live talkback series coming up Friday right here at WF Media Studios. We'll be sitting down talking about some of the issues, concerns, maybe even bring up this topic right here, safety today, between women and men. This one is leaning definitely towards single women and single men today coming up. So we got a great lineup. I'll tell you more about that on Tuesday and the coming days, but you'll see a lot of information on that. If you have not, go ahead and get y'all tickets so you're not left out. You can log on to WFMediaGroupINC.com, WFMediaGroupINC.com/ladies and gentlemen. All right, fam. What you got, Pastor Tuck?
You need to get Brother Rudy to come do a self-defense class for the ladies at the studio.
Nice.
My brother-in-law, Rudy?
Yeah, ain't that the one that used to be the cop?
Yeah. That is a good idea. That's a good idea. Check with him on that. See if he can come up here and do that.
That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be good. We need to know how to protect ourselves.
Yeah. Not a bad suggestion there, sir. Y'all, we got to get up out of this 11:58. We got 2 minutes before the next room here on Clubhouse.
Shout out to the Noops down at the Conclave in Tampa, baby.
I hear you. The Noops. The Noops at the Conclave down there in Tampa. All right. There it is. The Noops. Fellas, we got to get up out of here. Ladies, we got to get up out of here. We'll be back here Tuesday. Back on schedule. Thank y'all so much. We had a ball with y'all today. Yes. Pray for this family. Pray for this young lady. Pray that. Really hope that it's not. Pray that it's not what it looks like. But if it is, I pray she gets help. And that's why I asked, why would she do something like that? I didn't get a chance to read y'all comments. But man, It's hard. It's rough. All right, fam, we got to get about it. It's 11:59. This is the Akintunde Show. That's Pastor Louis Tucker. That's Donna J. That's Jaleel. That's Trisha. That's Eric, and a whole lot more. We'll see y'all next week. Until then, we gonna see y'all when we see y'all, family. Peace.